Hello and welcome back to Asirra. I'm Nick, and this is the October 2020 devlog. Like the Zelda games that inspired it, Song of Asirra is divided between the overworld and the temples. These temples are interconnected spaces full of puzzles, traps, and monsters. This month was all about working on the game's first temple. Speaking of monsters, in this room we've got a new one, the Helmtar. These guys can't actually be damaged, so they're more of an obstacle, kind of like a living DVD player screensaver. You'll need to solve the puzzle in the room while avoiding them. Let's talk about keys and locks quickly. They work here exactly the same way as in a Zelda dungeon. The keys only work in the temple you find them in, and they can open any locked door. This door is locked. We'll get the key for it shortly. In here we've got another new monster, the Malorb. These things lurk on the ceiling, waiting for you to walk by, but when you do, they come down and give chase. A little trick here is that when they first pop off the ceiling, they actually start with some downward momentum. This makes them more intimidating, but it also actually makes them easier to fight because they get in range of your normal staff attack more quickly, so it's a game dev win-win. The temple isn't just about fighting monsters, of course, but also about exploring the space and figuring out the mechanisms, so let me show you one. You'll find these pullable levers all around the temple. You can see that this one opens the gate on the upper level, but when you let go, it starts retracting. If you're quick, you can make it up and get a hold of our first key. And now that we've got it, we can open that door no problem. This room is more of a platforming challenge. We've got blocks that crumble after you stand on them, and our old enemies, the Pekos, patrolling these stable platforms. You can get through either with good timing or with brute force. Temples are also full of environmental danger. I've added these spike traps which deploy when you stand on them. I think you can figure out what happens if you don't get away quickly enough. And finally, temples are about puzzles. In this puzzle, you need to push blocks onto the correct buttons. It's not as simple as it looks, but I won't show you the solution, just some of the mechanics. I've created new types of blocks to make the puzzle more puzzling. The ones with arrows can only be pushed or pulled in the direction they point. That's not the only way to move them, though. This block with a link icon on it will move all the blocks in the room at the same time. With a combination of those, you'll be able to get them all in the correct order. So let's say you really jumbled them up and want a fresh start. You can ring your healer's bell, and I'm really happy with the ghost image and sparkling particles when you reset this puzzle. Hopefully you think it looks cool too. Well, thank you for sticking around until the end. Hopefully you think this temple is coming together nicely. Let me know in the comments how it's looking. I worked on other aspects of the game this month too, but it's too much to fit into a devlog video. So if you want to know about everything I'm up to, you should join my Patreon. Support from people like you helps me feel motivated to create day after day. The link is in the description. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel too, so you don't miss any Song of Asirra video content. Until next time, goodbye.